Hello, dearies. It's me, Agnes Smith, Nomadic Fanatic's #1 fan. My little Eric is back at courtside to continue working on his naughty bussy, but he's having problems putting in his AC mini-splits. So instead of staying productive, he has another idea, one that might not only put him in the doghouse, but in the big house. Exciting! Let's watch!
Good morning, everyone. Eric here from Nomadic Fanatic. Hope you guys are doing well this sunny morning here in the desert of Quartzsite, Arizona. Wayne and I have been working non-stop on the mini-splits, and this project is getting to be extremely more complicated and time-consuming than we thought. Long story short, we f***ed something up. So in the meantime, since this project is already stalled, I got a little bit of time to do something totally different. Maybe hiring an independent mechanic to look at Black Betty? No. Cleaning up some of the trash around this campsite? I'm going to be doing something that has nothing to do with the functionality of the bus. Something that brings a quality of life that I think I need, and we're going to do today. Once again, I will be uploading this video with Connection Internet. Quite possibly the greatest internet service on the planet. With supernatural connection speeds, you'll think Connection made a pact with the devil. So don't be stupid. Go with the winner, Connection Internet. Enter the promo code Nomadic Schematic to get 15% off service, and I get a kickback. It's a win-win. You help me, and in turn, I'm helped. I have an important appointment in Los Angeles, so I gotta drive 3.5 hours from here to LA. This bathroom area where this toilet sits right here is going to be a monster bathroom area with extra storage, and I've decided not to do that. So I boarded up another schoolie window, screwed it shut, and painted it black, thus further limiting any escape exits in case of a fire. So what is so important that I eliminated more natural light, precious storage space, and my safety? I'm doing something that I'm pretty sure has never, ever been done on a bus. Ever! I'm putting in an arcade cabinet. You heard me right, guys. I did lots of research online to see if anyone has ever installed a full-size arcade machine in a schoolie, and I can't find one. Probably because most schoolie builders are more concerned about efficiency rather than arcade cabinets. If you didn't know, I had my very own arcade in the house I was renting back at Carbondale, Illinois. Angela and I broke up, and the pandemic spooked me. So I rented a house and filled it up with arcade machines, pinball machines, a jukebox. I even had a claw machine. Hundreds of distractions to help me forget how miserable I was. Then I got rid of them almost as soon as I got them, supposedly to buy Taterland. Wow, that sure was a great investment. Maybe I should have thrown a few $1,000s out the window for good measure. Well, I no longer have Taterland, but I want to do something special for the naughty bussy. A full-size arcade cabinet won't fit through the front door, so I had to order something that was custom built. I didn't want to be limited to just one game or a few games. I want them all! A multitude of everything I loved in the past. Every arcade game that has ever existed. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, all the Dreamcast and Sega consoles. I want it all in one so that it serves a huge better enjoyment purpose. So like I said, I had to go to LA to pick it up. And although Blossom is also in LA, she's in a different part of the city, so I'm just going to pick up the arcade because that's what's really important. And she doesn't know anything about this arcade machine. She still thinks I'm building this bus for 2 people. Do you still think this is a serious relationship, guys? They're waving me through. This reminds me of the good old days when I drove to multiple states collecting arcade machines for my house. You really had to think about a person's mental state when they're willing to drive hundreds of miles for the sole pursuit of distraction. What could possibly be troubling them to do all that? Did you know my brother was in a car accident around that time?
My brother Barry has been in a car accident, and he has sustained some pretty major injuries, and it's really hard for family there because Washington State is one of the very few states that is still not allowing any family of any kind to physically be in the hospital. So my dad's at the hospital, and he can't even see his son, who might not make it through the night because of COVID restrictions at the hospital. Barry's got a punctured lung, he's got broken ribs, and he has 2 severed arteries on both sides of his neck, and he's undergoing surgery here. This is delayed, obviously, but my dad can't even see his son in the hospital. There's nothing I can do from here. It wouldn't do me any good to hop on a plane right now. However, I sure would like to be with my family right now. I have lost a lot of family members, and I lost a brother last year, and I'm telling you, man, it never gets easier being a nomad and being the only one of the family away. So, not that I could do anything if I were there. I would literally just be standing outside the hospital because we're not even allowed to see Barry.
And I know I could have flown to Washington to be near him. It was the pandemic, and I couldn't see him, but I could have at least been there for my family in Washington to support them. And instead, I'm driving around multiple states, collecting arcade machines. Make it make sense, guys. But you know what? 2 months later, I went to Washington to visit my family. Just kidding. I went to Disney World, because of course I did. But don't worry, 6 months later after my brother's accident, I was on a plane straight to Washington. Nope. I went back to Disney World. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. Oh my gosh! Isn't it wondrous, guys? It looks just like an old school NES Nintendo. I'll show you more specifics when we get back to the bus, because I don't want to spend too much time here in LA. You know, because of the delightful citizens that live here. It's in the bus, guys! Isn't it the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen? Thin enough that you can walk past it, but wide enough to take up precious storage space. I don't care. It's my bus, guys. I'll do what I want. Buy your own bus and you can design it and put anything you want in it. But don't tell me what I can and can't do on my bus. As you can see, this setup is basically a small smart TV and a hard drive with 8,000 illegally downloaded ROMs and a joystick. Don't tell me that these aren't illegally downloaded ROMs, guys. Are you telling me that the guy that sold this cabinet made a deal with over 20 different game companies, including Nintendo, who is highly protective of their games, so it could be played off a single hard drive? The license fees alone would be astronomical, certainly not the price that I paid for this cabinet, and Nintendo has never granted a license for any third party to emulate their games. Ever! That's why you still have to pay $50 just to play a 40-year-old game like The Legend of Zelda. Nintendo has been known to sue YouTubers that emulate their games, but Nintendo isn't the only company I have to worry about. I have to worry about all of them, because I mentioned that they're all downloaded on this hard drive. Man, I sure hope none of my enemies tried to contact any of these game companies. Bye, guys. Oh, Eric Pooh, I think your channel might be cooked. I don't think it was very wise to admit to your 241,000 subscribers that you purchased an arcade with 8,000 illegally procured games. You even played Super Mario Brothers, Mario Kart, and Mario Tennis on camera. You said it yourself. You're a YouTube partner, and they see value in your channel.
I'm thankful that my channel has been really successful in the past, and that's why YouTube has turned me into a verified YouTube partner. You see that little check mark after my name, Nomadic Fanatic, with the check mark? That means I'm a verified partner. I'm also part of a multi-channel network in Bent Pixels that helps manage my content. I think YouTube gets to a certain point, and they see a value in a creator that brings in and continues to bring in views. They say, you know what, we're going to help protect this person's work.
So you're not just any YouTuber. You got almost 250,000 subs. Do you think YouTube likes the idea of one of their partners encouraging others to buy these arcade cabinets with 8,000 illegal ROMs? I'm sure some of these game companies don't. How about your viewers? You got 1.6 dislikes opposed to 3.5 likes. That's almost half. Here's what your audience had to say. It's probably not the best idea to publicly post a video showing a device that breaks copyright law around 8,000 times, laughing out loud. I was going to mention this, but yeah, maybe not the best idea to do videos on your black market gaming machine. But he wants to be cool, just like when he wears his little poser biker vest. Looks are everything. And where does the toilet go? On top of the game cabinet? Your girlfriend likes it too, right? Just a shame. Nothing more to like this. Child. Also, it is very funny that you are concerned about getting in trouble for copyrighted music when you are in the middle of showing off your pirated software machine. If buying ain't owning, then pirating isn't stealing. Just because you say that, it doesn't make it true. You'd be surprised how many times that line doesn't work in front of a judge. Wow, don't be selfish. You are a couple. How old are you? Oh, great. What a way to respect your girlfriend. Diana doesn't know. It is because you are building it out for yourself, and to hell with her and what she thinks. It's obvious your MGTOW ways are coming out, and you only look at her like a friend with benefits. Why don't you just get a game console? It takes less space. Or are you trying to be the cool kid on the block? Have you ever rewatched your videos and seen the background, how the real bikers look at you and snicker? Eric, a lot of your fans are surprised about your selfish and oblivious actions, except me. Of course you were going to buy a black market arcade cabinet, and of course you weren't going to tell Blossom about it. Dishonesty is your very nature. Have a blessed day, old dearies. From Nomadic Fanatic's #1 fan. Be sure to like and subscribe.